Hello everyone, welcome to Stand Up with Lori. It is a pleasure to have attorney Jason Harris back on Stand Up with Lori. Jason, welcome.
Thank you for having me, and this is my second time with you, and I'm glad to be back.
It is, and I know you've ventured off and started your own law firm, so we want to hear all about your new love.
Well, thanks again for having me, and I really enjoy the partnership that we've had together. You know, Stand Up MRI is a leader in medical diagnostic testing in the Valley, and thank you for having us. You've been a great partner for almost 15 years.
Thank you.
So I left to start my own law firm, Harris Injury Law, and I do workers' comp and personal injury. What sets me apart from most lawyers is I'm one of probably 5 lawyers in the state that actively handles workers' comp and personal injury. There are a lot of law firms out there that may say they do work injuries, but rarely do they actually go to the Industrial Commission and litigate these cases. I actively litigate workers' comp and personal injury claims here in Maricopa County.
Give us an example of what you do.
Yeah, so give you a very basic example. If you're the FedEx driver and you're driving to deliver a package and you get into a car accident, you're gonna have 2 claims. You're gonna have a personal injury claim for the car accident, and you're gonna have a workers' comp claim because you were on the job at the time of the accident. So one accident produces 2 claims. It is imperative that this happens to you, that you speak with an attorney that regularly does workers' comp and personal injury. If you do not, and you talk to an attorney that only does personal injury, they cannot help you out with the workers' comp case, and they will in turn neglect that portion of your case, and vice versa. If you talk to a lawyer that only does workers' comp, they're probably not going to be able to help you with the car accident. So in those situations where you find yourself in an injury accident that occurred on the job, you must talk to an attorney that does both areas of law. Not only do I think this is good legal advice, I think this is common sense.
And what is the benefit?
Well, the benefit is that if you have a workers' comp claim, typically workers' comp benefits are provided for the entirety of your life. The car accident is just a 2-year segment of your life, and after about 2 or 3 years, the medical care stops. On a workers' comp claim, I could potentially structure a settlement that gives you lifetime medical care for your injury, as well as money for your personal injury claim. Well, people take this for granted, but if you've suffered a back injury, this is likely going to affect you the rest of your life. And if you handle this case correctly, we can potentially get you medical care for life for your back. And I think that's a game changer.
So share with us a common misconception.
A common misconception that I think most people have is, I don't want to make a workers' comp claim because I don't want to piss off my boss.
Right.
Okay? And I hate to be so crass about it, but this is the #1 issue. And typically what happens is the injured worker has to flush their workers' comp claim literally down the toilet because they're afraid to upset their boss. They're afraid to upset their boss for maybe an hour or 2 days, but this injury could be a lifetime and really could plague you for a long time. And if you don't take advantages of your benefits, they will pass and your opportunity will pass along with it.
Well, now that you've been on your own, will you share a story of success?
Yeah, absolutely. I got a call about a year ago from a young man that hired one of the big law firms you see on TV, and he had a workers' comp with third-party liability. He was involved in a car accident while in a company van, and he called me up and was very inquisitive about what type of benefits that workers' comp would provide in addition to the insurance for the person who caused the accident. Well, turns out after looking at his file that his previous lawyer at one of the big law firms completely neglected his workers' comp claim. So instead of taking the medical bills and sending it directly to workers' comp to be paid, they sent the medical bills to the injured worker for him to pay. And that's just ridiculous. I took over the case. I told the previous attorney that they had screwed up his workers' comp claim and we weren't going to pay him anything. After about 2 or 3 months of negotiating, they agreed. They dropped his case. We owed the previous lawyer nothing. And I settled his case for $650,000. And he has a lifetime of medical care for his back for the rest of his life. He's only about 32 years of age. And so in 30 years, if he has problems with his back, I will be able to get workers' comp to pay for it.
Well, that's a great story of victory. Congratulations.
Thank you, and my client was even happier than us.
What advice would you have for somebody that is unsure if they have a claim?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, most attorneys offer a free consultation. And so I would encourage you to be a very informed consumer. If you're going to get a free consultation, make sure that you're picking the right lawyer. If you go to one of these big, large law firms, chances are you're not going to meet with a lawyer, you're going to meet with a paralegal. So it's imperative that if you have a complex or a serious injury accident, that you meet with a lawyer that you can talk one-on-one about the facts of the accident, how it's affected your life, and someone who can handle both aspects of those claims.
You know, you mentioned that you have a unique technique when it comes to helping your clients. Do you feel that's what sets you apart from other law firms?
Absolutely. When you go to a law firm, again, one of these big box law firms, and I'm sorry to keep picking on the big box law firms, but I think a lot of times people make this mistake. They make a mistake in thinking that, hey, bigger is better. Typically, bigger is not better. You want to go to a law firm that prioritizes you, that sits down with you and your family, that understands the details of the case. If you go to a law firm and you're the 85th client they've signed up that day, do you want to be client number 1 or client number 85? And at Harris Injury Law, that distinguishes us significantly. Every one of my clients are client number 1.
Is there anything else you want our viewers to know about your law firm?
Yeah, absolutely. I get a lot of people that say, hey, I didn't talk to a workers' comp attorney because I didn't want to make a workers' comp claim. We're never going to force you to do anything you don't want to do. But more information is better, especially when you have an injury accident that has some unique components. And I find that a lot of times people just don't reach out. They don't reach out because they're intimidated, or they don't know if there's going to be a cost, or they feel like we're going to pressure them into making a workers' comp claim. Most of the time, a workers' comp claim is appropriate. Sometimes it's not. It is imperative that if you have 2 cases, that you hire a lawyer that can handle both of them.
I like that. They just need to reach out.
That's it. A call. Free call. We'll talk to you for free.
Jason, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us. It's always great to have you. Thank you for allowing me to obtain more knowledge on what you do and how you can help our community.
Thank you, and thank you for allowing me to share the word. And I hope that if anyone needs to contact me, you can reach me at callharris.com.
Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you next time.